3D Rose Earrings Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be making this really elegant pair of rose earrings on a little pendant background, or a pendant base, and I had a blast making these. They're on the relatively easy side, and also I'd like to mention quick that they are in my online store, and there will be a link to that in the description box below, so if you are interested in those and some of my other nail art, you can check that out as well. And I hope you like this video, and don't forget to click subscribe to see my future videos as well. So I'm going to begin by making my first petal, and I'm going to work from the outside in. And so I'm going to take a bead that is partially black and partially red, and then put that on a nail form backing and pat it out into a slight oval, not oval, it's like a curved bar shape, I guess, and let that set until it becomes matte. And as you can see, as the acrylic sets, it just kind of loses its shine. Once it's at that stage, you can pick it up with your brush and place it on your pendant backing. And I'm going to continue to make these, and when you are getting your beads, as I mentioned, it's partially red, partially black. You want to always, if you're getting a two-tone bead, you want to go for the lighter color first and then go for the darker color. So in this case, I got mostly red, and then I just dunked the red bead into the black acrylic polymer, and then you can work with it from there. If you're using white in a color, you definitely want to start with the white for sure. That's more important than in this scenario, because otherwise, if you try to get the white after you get, say, purple, your white is going to become purple, and then that two-tone effect is going to be completely lost, which is never any fun. And also when you're working with colors that are really intense and bright like this, I would also recommend that after you have the bead on your brush, that you flip your brush over onto your paper towel or your whatever it is that you're using, and you take the liquid out of the back of the brush. That's going to give you a much better color payoff, and it's going to make your acrylic a little bit more even and smooth as well. So you might want to do that. If your acrylic is really dry, that's not going to work so well because there's not enough monomer in your brush to start with. So make sure that your beads aren't super duper dry and powdery when you do that. You want to make sure that they have a nice, smooth, creamy consistency. Like as you can see, that one was a little bit dry. So I just took and dipped my brush in a tiny amount of monomer and brushed that over the petal. And as I got towards the center of my flower, I didn't bother with getting the two tones. The red I'm using is it's more of like a burgundy color, and so once you get to the middle you can't tell that there's the two tones anyway, and so I just didn't bother with that. And then for this last one, I took and I made a larger one again, and then I'm just going to take and roll it up. And as you could see, as I was making these petals, I made them smaller and smaller as I got towards the center of the flower. That's going to make them so that they fit in nice and well. And so then, as I mentioned, I'm going to start rolling it up, and then I'm going to pick that up and place that in the center of my rose. And I did decide to add one more petal after that, so there's a little bit of gap yet from the center of the flower and then to the next layer of petals, so I decided I need one more. So I'm just going to let that set, as you can see, and it's a very, very small petal. And then I'm going to pick it up and place it in that gap. And now using red paint, I'm going to go through and I'm going to be highlighting all of my petals. So I'm just going to take and add a very thin line of paint on the very edge of every petal that I can see. And so this is a subtle thing. It makes such a difference though in the end when you're doing these 3D flowers, is to highlight the very edges of all your petals. It makes them so much more dimensional appearing, even though what you're doing now doesn't add any extra depth. It just makes it a lot more visually apparent that it's three-dimensional to your eye, which is nice. So just take a little bit of that paint on the edge and just run it over the petals, and then apply some gel sealer over your flower to make it nice and shiny, and cure it, and you're all set. As I mentioned, you can check out to see if they're still available in my store, and comment with any questions you may have, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!